Hi everyone, Emma here. I'm so excited to show you. We are now going to move on from regular herringbone and we're going to start doing tubular herringbone. So I know a lot of people already know how to do this, but this was something new for me, so it was really exciting. And once you open yourself up to doing tubular herringbone, the sky is the limit. And as you can see, I just started doing this and already I haven't completed this bracelet yet, but it will be done soon. I'm gonna put some end caps on here with maybe some peyote around the ends and attach everything to this lovely bezeled bead that I got from Kath from the UK. So this was awesome. I just went ahead and bezeled that and it's going to go in there. So this can be used as um, a men or a woman's bracelet. It's pretty cool. And I mean, it's kind of endless what you can do, even if you only have a few colors. So you can see I had some frosted colors. So I was able to put the two of them together and then just do the outline with the gold beads. So these are both done with 8/0 seed beads. So you can see, and then the end here is done with an 11/0, and that gives it a nice little finish for your clasp. So we're going to put this one aside because I will show you how to finish it the way I did here and how to attach a clasp. And I think for this one what we're going to do is we're going to put an extender chain on it because I think both these, if you count, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sets of 7 beads and then a set of 2 gold. And we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So doing that, if this one here has a magnetic clasp, this ends up being a 6.5 inch bracelet. So definitely I'm gonna head for that 6.5 inch spot, but if we put the extender chain, we will be able to extend it to a bigger size. So let's take a look. What you need, I'm gonna put those things aside. I have my scissors and I'm using gray size 6 dragon thread, and I got the word from a few subscribers. They sent me emails saying that Potomac Beads now has the green thread. So you should get your green thread. I'm getting ready to place an order. I'm probably going to regret not doing it right away because I suspect they're going to sell out. But I'm kind of waiting to see if they have a reduction, like some special deal. And they have had a bunch of deals each week, but I'm looking for the one that I want. So. But I better buy it soon. Anyway, thread. Our existence around thread as beaders. So I'm gonna use this. This is like the only 8/0 this color that I have, and let me fix the camera here. This one is 8/0 and it's called Opaque Rainbow Frosted Red. Let's pull them out. They are beautiful. Oh my god, they're gorgeous. Oh, yummy. I order these when they're on sale and then I forget because I do the unboxing, I put them away. And then I'm like, oh, look at these, and I want to order more. They're so beautiful. Then we're going to use 8/0 gold beads, and then I have some 11/0 gold. Oh, these are Tohos. I try to keep them the same. So these, I don't know, these do not necessarily look like Tohos. They're supposed to be rounds, but they do actually look kind of tubular. Let's put some of these out. So I try and keep the beads consistent with the brand of bead. I am probably going to need more gold than that now that I think of it. And but you know what? We'll put these out. I was actually trying to match the color of the gold, so we'll put some 11/0s out. And we definitely don't. We only need a bit for the clasp at the end. Okay, put those there. And I'm going to show you a unique technique. So that's why I have these white beads out. So I have my magnet and some jump rings. And they're 7-inch, or sorry, 7 centimeter. And some wire guards. And I'll tell you, when you're doing beaded bracelet, it's probably a good idea to put a wire guard, because I'll show you on this one, I threaded it right on the small jump ring, but sometimes the jump ring doesn't close entirely and then it pops off. As well as if I wanted to change this clasp to something else or put an extender chain and something, you're risking, if you open this and it comes off your beads, then you got to try and figure out how to get it back on, and it's a pain in the butt. So the best thing I think to do is to put a wire guard on there and then put a jump ring and then whatever you want after that. That way you can change it out if you want. So let's take a look. Okay, so for this technique, what you do is you start out with an alternate color bead, 8/0, and we're going to start right into our herringbone, tubular herringbone 8/0. But the idea is at the end you can take these off, and that way you don't have to do a brick stitch at the beginning. So this is what I did for this one. So these are the alternate beads. So now I can go ahead and just pull these right off. Comes right off. Gives me a nice tail so I can put my wire guard. Well, actually what I would do here is I want it to match the other side. I added rows of the 11/0s. So what I would do is I would make some herringbone 11/0s to end it and then the wire guard. So that's what we're going to do. Let's put that there. Move the scissors out of the way. They always get hooked on everything. And I'm using a size 10 needle. We're using big beads. We really don't need. So you don't need a whole lot of those. I do 2 rows, so I probably only need that many beads. Like 8 beads. So let's take our needle. We're going to pick up. We're going to pick up 4. No, wait a minute. We're going to pick up 2. No, 4. I think I should have reviewed this. It's been a couple of weeks since I did these. I'm going to bring this down quite a bit. Okay, I'm going to leave a bit of a tail because we're going to put a clasp on the other side. So come back around and go through 2 of the beads like that. This is not my technique, by the way. Yeah, you know what? I should have looked it up. Okay, so we're gonna, our thread is coming out of here. Oh, let me enlarge this and move this down so you can see a bit better. So we're gonna go to the next bead here. Like that. We're gonna pick up 2 beads. And so it's going to look like a herringbone here, like that. It kind of doesn't look like much right now. Let's pull that in. Okay, skip the next one and go through, like don't add anything. Where am I here? There's my thread. So I just added these 2 here, and I'm coming out of this bead. So I'm going to go through this bead and just that bead alone. And pull through. Just turn that. Now we're going to put 2 beads here, like that, and just go through. Actually, I think we can go through both. like that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to flip these like this. Okay. And now we're going to start adding our beads. So pick up 2 of our, you know what, I was picking up the pink, but I think we're going to start with some gold because we're going to add a clasp here. So let's do the gold. So pick up 2 gold 8/0s. We're coming out of this bead here. We're going to go into this bead here. And just get them to sit like a herringbone. There. Then go up through this bead here. Pick up 2 more 8/0 gold. Go down here. Just going to turn this, keeping it folded like a taco. Okay, now you're going to go up the white one and up the gold one. That. Just turn this. There. Pick up 2 gold. So I think what we'll do is I have 5 on the other one, so we'll do the same. So now we're just going to go down this one here with our 2 gold 8/0s. So we're still working with the 8/0s. Get those flipped. Then go through this gold here. There. Pick up 2 8/0. Go down through this one. And flip those guys over. Turn your work around. Okay, so we're coming out of the bottom of this gold. We're going to go into the bottom of this one and up through both. Like that. There. Pick up 2 gold 8/0s. Go down that gold 8/0. Like that. Then you're going to go over to the single gold 8/0. Go up through that hole, and I'm just going to turn this to make it easier to get through. Oh, that's from the other one. It's in my way. Pick up 2, go through the 1 gold bead. And I lost my needle. There we go. Got caught on my chair. Okay. So if you're confused as to whether you go through 1 bead or 2 beads, the way, some will tell you just follow your thread. It'll let you know when it is you're going to close up something. But the way I look at it is I just take my thread across. So if and I'll count, there's 2 beads here. That means I have to go through the 2nd bead here and up. So that is a thing with herringbone because you're adding beads and then sometimes you're closing that loop or that square. So it'll either be 1 bead or 2 beads that you go through. So now I'm going to go through the 1 bead here, and I've added 2 on there. And just flip that one over. So now you're just going to go across. So it's just the 1 because you haven't added the 2 to this one yet. So whatever trick works for you, that's what you should use to remember. There is twisted herringbone, which you actually bring your thread across from a lower bead to a higher bead, vice versa. So it will twist your work, which I think we'll do some stuff like that too. There. So now I'm down 2 beads, so you can go across the 2 and up the 2, and that will close that section off. like that. So you can see how lovely this is. Oh, I just love it. Pick up 2, wait till the color comes on. It's like, blows your mind. Blows mine anyway. I get so excited by color. There we go. Then up 1 and add 2. This will be our last of the gold. So pick up 2, go down 1, pop those in place. Oh, it's a bit scratchy. Okay, then go up 2, and now we're going to add our color. So I'm just going to slide these over a bit and get some of these in so you can see them. They're gorgeous. So down 1 with the 2 color 8-0s. Then go up 1. Pick up 2. Go down 1. Flip that guy over. And go up 2. We're going to pick up 2. And go down 1. Oh, there's 3 there. Sometimes I don't catch it, and then I'm like, why does this look weird? Who's been messing with my beads? Jen, stop messing with my beads. She gets blamed for a lot of stuff. I don't know that she realizes it or she just ignores it. Probably a bit of both. You know, sometimes you're in a bad mood and it's like when stuff goes down, you're like trying to blame somebody else. They're like, oh, you know, there's no pointing this out to the person that they're angry and tired or whatever. So she's that kind of person that just goes along, doesn't say anything. And then I find it funny when she's tired and cranky. What's wrong with you? No, I don't say that. I find it's so unusual that it's like seeing some exotic animal walking down the street. You're like, how did that get here? I've never seen it before. Oh my gosh. So we just went for a walk. It's kind of cold out, but we didn't want to go to the gym. It's Sunday night, and our old swim team swims on Sunday night. And sometimes we left on bad terms just because one of the people that was running the organization was giving us a hard time. So yeah, we didn't feel like facing that anyway. So we went for a walk, and actually it turned out to be really nice. So we were talking, I don't know, one thing leads to another. And we were talking about, she used to run a lesbian group in her home. So they would meet weekly and discuss issues and stuff like that. And then they would do like a potluck, and other people would host it in their homes, like they'd take turns kind of thing, right? So she's told me this story a couple of times, but today when we were talking about it, we were trying to figure out why some lesbians from our generation hate men. And we were trying to figure it out, and we were talking about different things, and we're like, we don't get it, because we get invited to a lot of gay men's parties, and let me tell you, they're a lot of fun. There's a lot of really delicious food, lots of alcohol, and they think we're like the cat's meow. So we're like usually the only lesbian couple at the party. So they're always sweet to us. But anyway, she was telling me that this one lady that she hosted the night at her house, they told them later that she had lost her cat. Her cat died, and it was winter, so she couldn't bury it. So she froze it and put it in her freezer. And she was serving food and stuff. Everybody was like freaking out, as you can imagine. Like, oh my God, you had your cat in the freezer? There's 5. I think we'll stick with 7. Maybe we'll go a little higher than 7 on these. But yeah, I had an owl in my freezer. You guys are like, what? Oh my gosh. When I lived in Guelph, there's the University for Agriculture and Veterinary Medicine, and there's a lot of research going on and stuff at the university. I found a dead owl underneath my trailer, and it was tagged. So I called the university and I said, we found this owl under our trailer. Here's the tag number. And they said, well, somebody will come and pick it up. Definitely they want it for research. I can't remember where I'm at here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, I mean, I had no choice but to put it in my freezer. But I think we had like a chest freezer. It wasn't part of the fridge. So it wasn't like it was in with, well, I mean, it was in with the frozen steaks. I made sure it was properly bagged. But yeah, so they came and picked it up. It was beautiful. I've never seen anything like it. The colors were incredible. I should have looked up what type of owl it was. And we rented a farmhouse, and they still had they had chickens, so they sold eggs at the farmers market. So they had like really like hundreds of chickens, and they had cows, and I don't know why there was farm fields. It's funny because it was right in the city. There was farm fields. Like on one side of the street was all new housing development. The other side was this farmhouse with cows and um, chickens and stuff, and then other farm fields. Anyway, there was a lot of rats and mice. Well, probably because they had a feed silo. That's probably why. So our dogs would, if we were outside at night and stuff, and the odd time we'd stand outside and talk to him while he was doing stuff. So we rented it, but the owner, it was a family farm, and the parents had passed away. So the all the kids were adults, and he was a teacher. Anyway, they would take turns and come around and take care of the farm, and we just let them know if there was anything going on and stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, let's stick with 8. So let's do some gold now. Do 2 rows of gold. But yeah, if we were standing outside and the dogs were with us, you'd see them run, jump, and like gobble up something. They were eating mice. And they would do, like, they get a bunch of them. One day I come home. I was working night shift at the hospital. And I come home, and my partner at the time would let the dogs out, and they'd come running to see me and stuff. And this person said, take a look in the wood pile. So there was like a box that you put the wood in. I opened the box and, no, you know what? On top of the box, actually, was a possum, a dead possum. And I'm like, what the heck? So apparently the dogs had chased this thing and caught it. So they left it there on the wood box. And I don't know, maybe this person thought it was dead. And so I'm looking at it, I'm like, this sucker's alive. It was plain possum. I guess they reduce their breathing and their heart rate so low that you think they're dead. But it started like showing its teeth and going, like, holy crap. So that's what you want to come home to after a night's work. So now I'm adding my color again. Did 2 rows of the gold. At this farm, there was a chicken that they didn't keep with the other chickens because the other chickens would pick on it. And this chicken only had 1 leg. So guess what they called this chicken? Chicken's name was Eileen because she would lean over and fall because she only had 1 leg. I was like, really? Isn't that kind of making fun of poor little Eileen? Oh gosh. That was crazy. I was just telling Jen the other day about that too with the cows. We were watching on the news. They were talking about somewhere, I don't know, Wisconsin or something. Some cows, the police had to corral the cows or something. They got loose. I'm like, yep, every day. Not every day, but a lot when I rented the farmhouse. The fences needed mending and the cows would get across the fence, like push the fence down. And the neighbors from the housing development would come to our door, knock on our door saying, your cows are out in the street. So we'd be there with the police trying to get these cows back into the... I didn't know anything about cows. Like, what am I supposed to do? But I would, probably stupidly go behind them and pat them on the backside and shoo, shoo, shoo. Shoo, shoo, little kitty. It worked. Then the neighbors would bring their kids over and I always had a stash of carrots and I'd give them the carrots they could feed the cows. They thought that was just awesome. So you see how amazing this is, how quick, and then, so if you know how to do this one, you can do one with 3 ladders because this is considered a ladder and this is considered a ladder. So it's basically 2 ladders, and you saw because we had started off with the 2 beads on each side. But you can do 3 ladders and create like a triangular shape. But you can also, instead of just going across here, you can add little 15 seed beads or crystals so yeah, it's just amazing. And then when you add to this area here, you could add a larger seed bead and then add a pearl or do all kinds of beautiful Swarovski bicones. So there's lots of options with this. Let's keep going here. And go up. You know what's interesting? This may have come a little easier than I thought for me because I did a design and I didn't realize the design I was doing. I was I don't know, I must have been following some YouTube video. And in between, each time you went across, you put a little bead. So it turned out amazing. And I did my own video of that. And you did like half and half of the bracelet. And in the middle, you put like a big, beautiful, uh, kind of like a Pandora bead. And the one I used was a metal heart that had wings on it. It was so beautiful. And these were all, I think I did pink pearls. It was really pretty. Let's keep going. When I rented that house in Guelph, I worked at a prison as a nurse, and the prison was right down the road. Like I could walk to work. It was not too bad when I worked at the prison. It was people that their terms were 2 years less a day, so it was pretty mild stuff. But some of the stuff, well, I guess most of the stuff that was funny that happened there, it was not while I was there, but it was stories I was told. So I was told that they had a nurse there there was this joke, and I don't know where this joke started, but it was called Nurse Doyoy, and Doyoy is like idiot, right? Duh. But so anyway, they had a patient that was blind, or I guess an inmate, and he was a patient. I don't know. They may have put him in the hospital section for his own safety, so people wouldn't take advantage of him because he was blind. And you know what? I'm trying to think why he was there, and I think he was there because it was this may be not correct, this story, so just take it with a grain of salt. I think he was the getaway person in a bank robbery, and I don't know, I guess they thought, these really smart criminals thought that if they used a blind guy for the getaway vehicle, they wouldn't arrest them or something. Needless to say, he was in jail. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is the last one. Then we'll add some gold. So here's a part that I find addictive to this too, is very quick. It's very lovely. So this nurse, I guess it was at night, and she heard a noise, and the blind inmate, came running down the hall and fell, hit his head. And she's sitting there with her hand in front of his face. Oh, we need the gold. Going, how many fingers am I holding up? And the guard's like looking at her going, he's blind. He can't see your fingers. So the funny part about that too is that, so they would, if you wanted to keep your stuff safe, now they did on the other units, they had foot lockers that they could put their stuff in to keep it safe. And but on the hospital unit, you didn't have that. So he would put his pack of cigarettes rolled up on his sleeve, or no, I guess in his shirt pocket. That's it. They had pockets in their uniforms. And I guess while he was sleeping, it slid out and it slid across his arm, and he thought it was a mouse. So he jumped up screaming, "Mouse!" ran down the hall, and that's when he fell and hit his head. I'm like, you couldn't make this stuff up. I remember the one time, I don't know why I didn't have my dinner with me, and somebody's like, "Oh, let's go to the cafeteria. It's really cheap, right?" So as staff, you could go to the cafeteria and order something and pay for it. And I don't know who took the money. I don't know, whatever. That's so long ago. But they were so happy to do something for the nurses. I ordered French fries, and what he came back with was the biggest order of fries I've ever seen in my life. And he's like smiling. He goes, "I hope you enjoy them. I hope they're good." That was too funny. So just keep going like this. I did eventually order Christmas balls off of Amazon so that I can do some decorating with beading. Um, one of the big channels just did a video on that. I can't remember now. Beadaholic, maybe? But so when I started the YouTube channel, there was a lady in Texas, and I haven't heard much from her lately. We used to talk every day. And anyway, she used to make the most incredible Christmas balls. And they were nothing like what I've seen. I've done searches now on YouTube and Pinterest and to try and find some really elaborate ones, and nothing like the ones she did. But yeah, I thought it would be nice to do this year. And for me, I'm trying to readjust my expectations. I don't know if you guys notice this, but I'll say, "I'm gonna do this." And then, like, halfway through, you never hear about the project again. Because I just move from one project to another. I get so excited. I'm like, "Oh, let me try this." So I started out, I was thinking I would do a set of balls for each of them. So I have 3 nieces and my sister. So that's actually 4 sets of Christmas balls. And I think what I might do is plan for doing 2 Christmas balls each, and maybe do them every year, do a different one or 2. So maybe we'll try that. And the other thing I want to do is some bead embroidery Christmas pins, because there's so many just extraordinary ideas and I never get to them. And you know what? It's like 6 weeks away. That's nuts. 7 weeks maybe. I need to get moving on some of these projects. My office is still like as my mom used to say, a jackpot. My grandmother used to say that, I think. She said, jackpot, because she's French. She was so funny. Oh my gosh. So she could only speak French. She goes to the Zellers, which is kind of like a Walmart, Just going to move this down. And she buys like a plastic flower decoration to go over her stove. And I guess she didn't like the color. So she went back to the store to see if she could get a different color. And she asked where they were, right? And I guess the person couldn't speak French and she couldn't speak English. Let me just count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So one more. So she's trying to explain. He sends her to the pet supply section because she's talking about a bird. She comes back, she says, no, my bird's dead. That didn't clarify things at all. She tells us this story and like she's laughing. I think she used to play it up sometimes. Another time, she went looking for leotards at the store, and of course she can't speak English, and they can't speak French, and they send her to the bakery across the street for butter tarts, not leotards. Oh, we did the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So let's do our gold. Yeah, she was funny. And she was always up for trying something, like playing a game. She also sang. She was one of these singers, like like an old-timey singer. So her voice wasn't like the most elegant kind of voice, but it was just amazing to hear her sing. I actually have a recording of her singing and playing the harmonica. So she could play the harmonica like crazy. That was my dad's mom. They used to call her La Grosse Mother. That means the big mother. 'Cause she was big. I'm like, oh my god, you can't call her that. But she used to laugh. She thought it was funny. This is like her kids would call her La Grosse Mother. Yeah. Things have changed, haven't they? We were talking about that today. About, with how things are different for queer people today compared to when we were growing up. So, oh, this is going to look at me. This looks really awesome. So let's see where we're at here. I think we probably do one more. Nope, two more. We'll have to change our thread. That'll give me opportunity to show you. There's probably specific techniques to changing your thread, and there's lots of great videos out there. I just do my technique and I'll show you what that is. I don't get thread coming apart and I don't have thread or knots showing. So that to me, if it meets those two criteria, that's all that matters. Oh, I was thinking about my grandmother. I was thinking, I know there's more to tell you about her. So my grandfather had 3 fingers missing and didn't seem to slow him down. And if he was anything like my dad was a workaholic. innovator in a lot of things. But so the story goes, they used to have a like a mill to cut the wood, and my grandfather cut his fingers in the mill, and it was on the property. They were on a farm. And so my grandmother came running out, and she picked up his fingers. I guess, I don't know, like back then, I don't know who would have showed up to take him to the hospital. But I think they asked if she had his fingers. Not that they would have known to put it on ice or anything like that. And like that stuff is really hard to reconstruct. But anyway, she's like, no, I buried them. So she like didn't waste any time, buried his fingers. So funny. Yeah. They were friends with the Dionnes from the Dion quintuplets, and my dad used to get a lot of invitations for parties and stuff like that because he was around the same age as the daughters. There was a wedding picture, and in the background was a photograph of them, like on the side table kind of thing. My dad was funny. He used to, like, if we would talk about a celebrity, he would say, "Oh yeah, I went to school with them." It's like, yes, Dad, you went to school with everybody. There's 6. I think, don't all dads do that? They're trying to like get up some cred here. My dad was so funny. But it was interesting because I think about my personality, and I will opt for a joke or a funny remark over being mean kind of thing, or being in a bad mood. And I definitely get that from both my dad and my grandmother. So, yeah, we're getting to the nitty-gritty of my thread here. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's what I thought. I think I'm going to go down a few more. Like that. And let me just double check where I'm lined up. I'm just trying to remember so that yeah, okay. Now I'm 1 bead around where the thread is. I'll try and remember that I need to come up across this line here. Okay, in the meantime, I am gonna pick up this thread here, bring my, oh yeah, this is really left it too long here. Bring my thread around my needle twice, pull it right down tight and put my finger there, bring my needle through. Oh, that must have hooked on something. No, just bring that thread in and then go down. And then I'm gonna pull it, and that will tighten the knot as well. So now let's take this out. Now what I can do is leave this here, and then I know that I need to put my thread here, so I might do that. Let's get some more thread. That's looking really pretty. So you guys have to tell me if your dads were like that too. My dad was, so in the 70s, saying groovy and far out was, you know, that was the saying of the time. My dad would say, out far. And we're like, no, Dad, it's not out far. It's far out. Like, and he'd smile and he'd say, out far. It would totally get us worked up. We didn't realize he was joking. We thought he was serious. So I'm just going through the same line of beads. And I'm going to put a knot there and then come up to there. So for this one, however comfortable you are, but it's probably smarter to leave a bit of a tail, because if you start pulling and it comes all the way out, it's done that to me a few times. So I'm going to grab that thread here, put once and twice, hang on to that, pull through, and then go up the 2 beads here. There. So now I can cut these 2 threads off and not worry about it. Now we're ready to go. Go up through here. Then it closes that one up. And I thought we were at our 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. So I did notice there's a couple of these. I don't know where I got these gold 8/0s, but there's a couple that are totally closed, which I find unusual. It's not, I don't usually get them like that. But who knows where some of these beads came from. I am not obsessively doing records of stuff. I only started doing that since I started buying the bulk. So, and across and up. So even after you're done this section here, you could go through and put like little seed beads or, you know, whatever crystals. That's what I like about this design. So let's check. I think probably one more 10 and then it'll do it. So there's, oh yeah, one more 10 because we're going to add 4 to the end. Perfect. Get in here. There was, yesterday when I was talking about Christmas, there was something else I meant to mention. I can't think of it now. I used to keep a journal of stories that I would remember so I could tell you guys. And then I forgot where I put the journal. Go figure. I'm just better off to go. Oops, I need to go through first. So let me know if you do tubular herringbone. And if you have any favorite designs or videos on YouTube. I think the lady's name is Lara McCabe. Oh, that one's kind of teeny tiny. Let's take that off. Use that for a, yeah, that's the teeny tiny one. Use it for a stop bead. Yeah, Lara McCabe. And so I guess she's written books and she has tutorials or groups that she teaches. She is amazing. So she has a few videos that you can watch on YouTube. And she does a video on how to bezel rivolis. And some of the things she said in the video I really appreciate, because I think there's a lot of people out there like Stephanie from Bronze Pony does them and shows us how to do them. But sometimes things go wrong when I'm doing them and I don't know why it's going wrong. And Stephanie doesn't explain that, but Lara does. So there's a lot of talking at the beginning of the video, but she's also giving you examples of different sizes as well. So it might be worth taking a look. I'll try and find the video and put the link. I say I'll try and find, like, I do these videos and then I do all the kind of busy work afterwards. I always do put the links. If I say I am, I will. And if it's not there, remind me. Because that happens too. I only put one bead there. Good thing I caught it. I would have gone all around and went, oh, how come there's only one? So we have not had snow yet, although it was quite cold this morning when we went outside to see if we could chance a bike ride. But we went for a bike ride 2 days ago and I was in shorts. That was awesome. So you can see the amount of beads I'm using for this. If you take a look, this is what's left of that tube of the colored one, and it was these are, they say they're 8 to 9 grams in one of these tubes. So that's pretty good. I'm trying to be more conscious of that because people will ask how much beads do you need for this bracelet? And I understand why people are asking, because you know, you want to pick a color and then start working on it and realize, oh, I don't have enough. And if you only have one tube, I have found that more than not, you only need one tube. It's very unusual. Now, I haven't said that. These guys here that I did, the Kumihimo bracelet with the mini daggers, these come in tubes like this, and I needed 2 tubes. Well, really 1.5 tube for this. So that's probably the only one that I can remember has used more than 1 tube. But those are kind of big, so you don't get as many in a bottle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7. For some reason I thought there was 8 there. I don't trust my own counting. Oops, there's 3. And now we're going to end with 4, 5 gold, like we did at the beginning. There. Let's bring these guys over. Across. 2. Thinking about Christmas and what we used to eat at Christmas. My mom would make, usually she would make a ham, and the reason being is we had a lot of visitors, and we would do like midnight mass, and then we'd open our gifts. So this one's another one that's clogged. It looks like it's just I think these are galvanized, and it might be the galvanizing that's clogging the bead hole. So it probably could open it. We would have a lot of people come over even at midnight after mass to visit and open Christmas gifts and stuff. So it was mostly like the meal was not a sit-down meal. It was the food was put on the table and you served yourself, kind of thing. So there was tons of food and desserts, and my mom used to make meat pies, and that was a French Canadian meat pie. And I have since made meat pies, and I made meat pies when I was living in North Carolina, and the person I was with used to take them to work for the other nurses, and they went nuts over it. It was so good. Like, yep, Mama's recipe. So this is the last set. And yeah, so she made a ham. So you could cut up a piece of ham, or you could make a ham sandwich and have some meat pie on the side and all the other fixins. And for dessert, she made brown sugar pie. And if you've never tasted brown sugar pie, oh my gosh, it's amazing. Now, she would do it different than, like, if you look up that recipe, she did it a lot different than that. She basically made a pie crust. So now we're going to go to the 11 golds, and we're going to create this little piece here. So we're just going to continue on like this, only we're going to add 11 O's, and it will get it nice and narrow. So just pick up 2, and we are coming out of here. We're going to go into here. So yeah, she would put, you know, about 4 to 6 dollops of sugar in. First she would put brown sugar in the bottom, and I think it was sprinkled. It wasn't like packed it or anything, but it was a lot of brown sugar, and then dollops of butter all the way around, and put that in the oven. It was basically old-fashioned fudge with a pie crust, with the best pie crust. She was amazing for her pie crust. So, yeah. Oh my God, brown sugar pie. But sometimes it, didn't get to the high temperature or whatever, and it was like syrup inside the pie, and that was delicious too. So, yeah. Just trying to figure out why this bead is not sitting. I think it's just misbehaving. Let me put it into, there we go. Now we're going to go up through the 11-0. Pull that tight. And the 2 here. I'm surprised at how hard things are getting for me to see. But then I shouldn't be, because I have the 9 test booked for 2 weeks from now, which means it's been 2 years since my last glasses. I'm going across the 2 11-0s, coming up them. There. Now, let me see how many I added here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pick up 2. Go down 1. We used to make homemade donuts too for Christmas. So we would fry donuts, and we had the special cutter that, we do the donut holes and we do the actual donuts. And they were either you would roll them as soon as they came out hot from the oil, you would roll them in sugar, white sugar. And I think there was a brown sugar version of that. I can't remember. Or cinnamon. I have home movies. So I was trying to figure out, how could I show you my home movies? Like, I have actual video, like it was transferred onto video, and I have it on my computer. So I could actually play it and record and show you guys. It's hilarious. It'll bring back memories. If you're from the same generation as I am, you'll recognize the pajamas. I'm thinking about the pajamas. I think we were wearing pajamas while we were cooking. Don't ask me why. But I think we had aprons on. We always wore aprons when we were cooking. Oh, and we always wore a kerchief on our head while we were cooking. Isn't that funny? Those were kind of like the things like washing your hands and stuff like that you had to do if you were going to cook. You didn't want hair in your food. I don't even wear an apron anymore, and I probably should, because my clothes all ruined, like with grease marks. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we have to close this off. So whenever you're doing herringbone, like any herringbone, the last row has not been closed off, because you usually close it off when you add the next beads. So, and actually, you know what? We can close it off while we're adding our French, our wire guard. So let's get one here. Get a wire guard and put this on. So, coming out of this bead here, I'm trying to decide here, because I'm going to go down this one and across. Yeah, I think I will put it there, and it'll kind of sit in between the 2 rows. So let's go up through, and I'm going to extend my thread here. It's tangled. There. Okay, so it's on there, but we need to come up and around. through the other hole, like that. Okay. And you can see we're in that hole. We're going to go down this hole and just through the single bead. And that will snug everything up. You can kind of nudge it a bit. Get it in there. Just make sure your thread is in the groove. These are expensive wire guards that I got from Beadaholic when they did their out of business sale. And you can see how nice the thread sits in the channel. Okay, so now go up the opposite bead. And I get tangled here. Okay. So I want this to be kind of in the middle, so we're just going to put the needle through and it'll bring it over. So go up through there. Get a bit tight and make sure that's not hooked anywhere. There we go. And put it kind of in the middle. Like that. Okay. And now we're going to go through. So the thread is coming out of this bead here, but we want this to sit here. So our thread, we want to go through here. I apologize if this is confusing. Go through that part of the wire guard. And that's in the, so this is the bead we need to go down. And that should turn it, yeah. Just kind of nudge it a bit. And then go up. And that will close this one as well. So our thread's coming out of this one, we're going to go through this one. There. So now I'm just going to go through, I'm going to go down 2 and around, and then we'll tie it off. So go up 2, and then we'll go down. I think we'll go down all the way and tie this off. Like that. Okay. Let's grab a thread here and wrap this around. Now I'm going to go through a few of these beads and pull it tight and cut this. There. That one's lovely. Ta-da! Okay, so let's cut this off. Scissors. So I think you can see this is a bit, so one of the reasons I like this, it's very slinky, but I think I need some work on my tension. And I did this, so this was a type of weave that I did find you do need to work on your tension. But so let's do the other side and complete this. So as you can see, we have our added beads here. So we should be able to do these. Just unthread it. there. Comes off, and then these come off pretty easy. Come off. And these. So now we're going to use this end to create our little tip at the end. Thread this. There. I don't know that we're going to have enough thread. Something to work on in the future. Okay, so grab your piece and determine where you go next. So if you think your bead is coming, your thread is coming out of this bead, and you look, these are a set of beads. If you go to pull them apart, you can tell these are a set and these are a set. So we need to add our gold beads and then go through this one. And we're adding these lovely 11 O's like that. Oh, I went through the wrong bead after all that explanation. And then up through here, pick up 2 11 O's, go through this bead, then go up to the 8 O and the 11 O, and that closes that one there. Pick up 2 11 O's, go through just the 11 O, get that into position there. Go up the 1 11 O, pick up 2 11 O's, and just go through the 1 11 O. There. So now go across and then go up the 2 11 O's. Get needle in under there. There. And it pulls those guys in tight. Pick up 2. Go down 1. Go up 2. Or go up 1. So this is where sometimes it gets confusing. It looks like the lines are crossed, but it's just the way they're sitting. There they're straight, there they're crossed. Now I'm going up 2. Down 1. Over and up 1. Down 1. So we did, I think, 5 on the end here. Yep, 5. So there's 4 there. So we'll add some thread to put our clasp. So let's go across, go up 2. And let me extend this. Actually, you know what? I think we will tie this off because we're not going to have enough. And we'll just add the others. let's go down here. Go down past the 11 O's because it might be hard to put a knot in the 11 O's. Then grab some thread here and hook it around twice, pull that through, and then go through here and pull it tight. Take this off. And I had another piece. Did I throw it out? No, I still have it, but it's actually not that long. Let's get a long piece. Don't want to take a chance. Just my thread. Okay. Just gonna go up to here. Oh, that's what I was saying. Sometimes you pull it all the way through. I get so excited. Can you guys tell there's a theme? Oh, I get so excited about everything. We're on our way to go to the pool to swim, and I'm like clapping my hands in the car, like, and giddy. We're going to swim. It's like first thing in the morning. We're both tired, and my wife's like, "Oh my God, where do you get your energy?" 'Cause I love it. And this did not work. The knot came through. Let's see if I can get this off. And try that again. Okay. Let's go through 2 of these beads. And I'm going to hang on to this thread. Okay, go up. And cut this. So now we're going to pick up the last 2 sets of 11 O's. Then go up this side. There we go. Pick up 2. It's probably a good idea that we did it this way because, like in the other side, we added the clasp as we were closing off the final. Get in here. There. Okay, let's get that bead in the right. There we go. Okay, so let's get the other. We need these. There it is. And this. So go through the wire guardian and come down the other side. There, like that. Oh, this one's tight. I think because I'm using a size 10 needle. So just FYI. So we're going to go down this. So it's coming out of this bead here. We're going to go down the next one. And then we'll come up the other side. Oh, just the single bead. I brought it tight, but you know, we're going to loosen it a bit because we want it to sit in between these two rows of beads. So we'll just go up through this one. And let's just loosen that a bit. And come up through this side of the wire guard. And hang on to the wire guard because you can see my needle's getting stuck. Just make sure that that's not the way. So there. Now come down the other hole of the wire guard. Yeah, it's quite tight. Just going to hang on to it to pull it through. Okay. So now we are coming out of the wire guard, but the thread is in this bead. We want it to come through here. And we're going to cross over these beads so that we close them up too. But to start with, we're just gonna pull tight on this, and I'm just gonna kind of maneuver the wire guard to the middle of the two beads rows there. So now go up the opposite, because we're coming out of this bead. We're going to go up the opposite bead there, and then down the other bead, and just make sure that stays on the correct side there, up this side. So that should close off all of those. Now we're going to come through here and down and tie off. There. You can see that's on there nicely. Grab a thread here. And bring your needle through a few beads and pull it tight. Straighten it out. That is done. So let's add our clasp. Let's cut that off. Oh, this you know what needs? This needs like a charm or something. Or some. The other thing that I saw was you make bracelets like this, and you can make beads. I think Allie from Potomac Beads, you do a right angle weave of a pearl or whatever, and then you add crystals to it, but you leave it, then you close it, and it's like a Pandora bead that you can put on these bracelets. That's how I clap when I'm in the car with Jen. Oh, we're going swimming. She's like, oh boy, you need help. Get my tools. These. You know, I tried to order these again, and I can't remember where I ordered them from, and I ended up ordering a double set of these here, which are great, but they're rounded, so they're hard to grab a hold of stuff. So I think I sent a pair to my sister. She's like, oh, that's so nice you sent me that. I'm like, yeah, it was a mistake. So I have these. These look too big for this size. Do you know what? I'm just going to do it and not think about it. So let's put this on like that. And then this on here. So this is the spring clasp. Like that. And you could put a charm on one side of this too. I'm pausing because I always get confused with the extender chain. I don't know why. There. Oh, it looks fine. Doesn't need to be any smaller. And this one. Take the extender chain, put that on there, and then put this on the wire guard. Just looking, everything's, the cords are all in the right place. The thread. Oh wow, this is nice. This turned out really nice. We'll be making a few of these. Look at that. Wow. That is awesome. So there you go. That's how easy these are to make. So thanks for joining me. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's an hour and a half. I apologize. I had intended on using this one as the example to show you the end, but I just got so having so much fun. I just thought I'd continue with the whole bracelet. Anyway, take care everybody. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.